From the Ford Sports Desk, KOMU8 Sports.
Good evening, everyone. Mizzou football back on the practice field today, even though the 2019 season won't start for another 5 months. The most wonderful time of the year, and with that comes the annual bragging rights game in St. Louis tomorrow night. Missouri will face Illinois, as usual, with the great prize on the line, bragging rights. The Tigers have not beaten Illinois in 5 years, while for Illinois, Missouri has been the gift that keeps on giving. South Carolina women's basketball coach Dawn Staley is suing Missouri Athletic Director Jim Sterk. Jordan, the party is just getting started here in Nashville, Tennessee. Mizzou and Georgia just about to tip off, so the majority of those fans are already inside Bridgestone Arena. But out here, Broadway over there especially, is filled with different SEC schools. Lots of SEC schools being represented. Very, very colorful scene out here. We're the giving season, if you will. For Illinois, Missouri's the gift that keeps on giving in terms of wins. But for Missouri, Illinois's been the gift that keeps on giving in terms of starting players. Missouri Tigers will take on the Florida Gators on Saturday at the Swamp at 3 o'clock. But before that, I'm here at the Santa Fe Teaching Zoo, joined by two special guests. I've got Jonathan to my left, I've got Sasha to my right, and we have a third special guest actually with us right now. Sasha, who is this?
This is Brack. He's a juvenile American alligator, and he's about 2 years old.
And so how big will Brack get whenever he fully matures?
Well, our male here that's fully grown Brutus is about 11 feet long.
Should I be nervous? He's looking right at me. With trophy cases already filled with accolades, the trio hopes to add one more that's never been done before. But it was the senior Jordan Geist that ended up stealing the show. He clearly wasn't going to let this be his last game in a Missouri Tiger uniform. Geist erupting 15 points and 5 rebounds, but he says that it's his teammates on the bench being vocal that actually motivates him. Cardinals spring training is in full swing. Today, fans got a chance to see St. Louis's biggest offseason acquisition in uniform for the first time. There he is, Paul Goldschmidt, rocking the Cardinal red, playing in his first game of the spring. We'll get to him later, but first, how about some defense? Trey Turner lifts a high fly ball at center. Check out Lance Thomas making the catch on the run. Michael Waka liking what he sees. Take another look at that. What a nifty running catch for Thomas, going full extension. Here comes Goldschmidt stepping up to the plate for the first time, fans standing and applauding for him. He does have tremendous power to the opposite field, and what do you know? He drives this pitch to right field, but it's not the kind of power he wants. That's warning track power to be exact. Goldschmidt goes 0 for 2 with a strikeout in his debut. In the next half inning, on a 1-2 pitch, it's Max Schrock schrocking this one to right field. Evan Mendoza scores easily, and just like that, this game is knotted back up at 1 apiece. Later, it's going to be Black again. This time he comes up with the steal, gets the ball, and we'll call it a slam dunk. Student section loving that one, and they also love the final score. Rockbridge wins 64-24. They improved to 7-1 on the season.
Well, like every school, Mizzou tries to have a home court advantage, and that could even include a voice inside the arena. KOMU8's Ethan Illers tells more about a man behind a mic.
Find out how at MissouriCU.org.
If you attend Mizzou men's basketball home games, chances are you recognize this voice.
Don't take a bank shot if you can dunk.
And if you listen to Clear 99 Country Radio, chances are you've heard this voice before.
Today's Best Country, Clear 99 and Luke Bryan, Move. Thank you for listening this afternoon. Hope you're having a great day.
But what you probably didn't know is that it's the same person behind the mic. His name is Eric Bremer. That's Eric with an A.
When I was a kid, I hated it because, you know, you'd go to like Branson, you couldn't get a keychain that had your name on it because nobody spelled it that way. But as I got into college, I realized at Mizzou that it was a way to stand out, and like people remember it that way. Oh, Eric with an A, okay, well, I'll remember that. So as I got older, it got to be more of a conversation piece, and it got better.
Raised in Sedalia, Bremer grew up on country music and grew to enjoy the deeper meaning of the songs.
For me, this music is telling stories. I mean, it's telling stories that I can relate to, a lot of things that have happened to me in real life. And so it brings about powerful emotion, whether it's positive or negative.
Then came a love for sports. How that love came about started with a story we've all heard before.
When I was going to bed every night, I slept with the radio on all night long. And I listened to Jack Buck call Cardinals games.
After a lengthy application process, Bremer was hired to be the PA announcer for Mizzou men's basketball games. Like his idol Jack Buck, it's Bremer's job to make folks go crazy. Of course, practice makes perfect.
When I found out a year ago that Michael Porter Jr. was coming here, I might have practiced that intro in my car for several months leading up to that first game.
He reads the pregame promos in his radio voice, but once it's game time, his arena voice takes over, and his calls have grown on the fans.
I've had many people say over the years their favorite call of mine was when Ricardo Ratliff was here. I really drug. It was like, Ricardo Ratliff. It was really long. And so I did that. I think my favorite player on this current team is probably Jeremiah Tillman to do that for.
His favorite game he's ever done is a no-brainer for Mizzou fans.
This is the easiest question of all time. It's when Mizzou came back and beat Kansas in the final 2 minutes in 2012, the final time KU came here. I am a lifelong Missouri fan, a Missouri graduate, and I lost my voice for days calling that game. I was never more happy, more excited to do a basketball game than that night. It was absolutely my favorite memory here at Mizzou Arena.
To provide Mizzou with the best home court advantage possible, Bremer makes an effort to get into the heads of the opposing team. It's one of his favorite responsibilities to being behind the mic.
If we're on a roll and the other team is forced to call a timeout, whether it's a timeout Kentucky or traveling violation, I love that.
The team has also thanked Bremer for his efforts and services. But Bremer says nothing compares to what the team did for him after its final season in the Big 12.
The final year we were in the Big 12, and we won the Big 12 Conference Tournament Championship. The team got rings that year, and they gave me a ring as well. They said that they could feel games late in the game where I made a difference with my inflection in calls and in getting the crowd riled up. And so I have that ring at home. That's really cool.
A fitting reminder that champions are also found off the court.
I'm just happy we did it as a team, as a family.
It makes you, feel, and it's your family. So these guys are one family, and my kids are the other.
Family has been the motto for the Rockbridge boys basketball team this season. For head coach Jim Scanlon, he got to celebrate with both of his families.
When you have 6 little beautiful granddaughters there cheering you and they got tears in their eyes, it bothers you. I mean, it means something to 6 little girls, and all my kids were here, and their wives and husbands and whatever, so had everybody here to see it.
Last year, the team came so close to achieving the ultimate goal, but fell in a hard-fought semifinal game.
Losing a hard-fought game in the semifinals last year, we just wanted to come back, won a big game last night, and then we tried to finish it off today, and I feel like we did that.
Seniors Isaiah Mosley, Jamonte Black, and DeJuan Harris have been playing together since middle school, and winning the state championship for the first time in Rockbridge history is the perfect bow on their high school careers.
When we were down, my heart was beating. I kind of got emotional. I had to hold it in. Then after, I just lost it. Just whatever. I could have ran around 50 times and not been tired. I was just so happy.
I was just so happy to win that. It means the world to me. It's the best moment of my life. So, it was just pure joy. It's like a Cinderella story. It's just a perfect ending. Perfect ending to high school and then coming to play here for college, so it's just a perfect ending.
With Mosley, Black, and Harris committed to playing at Missouri State next year, Harris says there's plenty more in store.
It means a lot, but we still have more championships to come.
Although players come and go, this group will forever be etched in Rockbridge history.
You can always dream, but when it comes true, it's something special.
That dream is now reality. Recently, a picture of New Orleans Saints players Drew Brees, Alvin Kamara, and Michael Thomas was tweeted with the caption, "Name a better trio," to which Mosley quote tweeted and said, "Me, DeJuan, and Jamonte." Now he has proof for the entire state to see.
It's true. Everybody in the state can see it's actually true. We're the best 3 people that you could ever meet. It's true, man.
The Rockbridge Bruins are state champions, but more importantly, they're a family. Ethan Illers, KMU8 Sports, Springfield.